GetYourRockOut.com are very, very excited
Really?
to be interviewing the amazing Emilie Autumn. I'm a big fan myself, so it's great for me. So how are you doing today?
So
Probably cold.
overwhelmingly fabulous. We've just come to the end of this tour, which is just round one of the flat tour. This is just half. We're going to be back very soon with the rest of it. But yeah, still after last night in London, just a mad, sold out show, and just incredibly exciting, incredibly loud, just passionate, audience involvement and everybody being just so emotionally present and there and intense. And I'm still kind of, in a very good way, just reeling from this, going, how the fuck did this happen? This is I know I wrote some songs, I know I worked really fucking hard, I know I'm very sincere and I mean everything, and yet still, this is a little too magical. This is just getting out of hand. And then we come up here to Manchester today and look out the bus window, and what's the first thing I see is the Phantom of the Opera poster, and that's playing right over there.
Yeah.
And that's when I thought, yes, this is perfect. This is what's happening. This is what it's all about. I think that's what the energy is, and all this magic that's happening around this right now is about just lifting everything up to the state where it isn't anymore about, me, this girl that dresses this way and looks crazy and writes these songs that some people like. And it's about this whole asylum reality, this world that's just becoming very, very ever more real every day. And it's all of this. It's just these little puzzle pieces that have been going for years towards the making of the full-scale musical that this is becoming. And next time we want to be right over there, and that's what's happening. So there's some crazy energy going on right now, sincerely. So I'm really happy to be in this room with you guys right now, and we can all manifest and share this. This is an insane day. And then we get here and it's beautiful.
The inside is amazing at the ribs.
This does not happen. I had a clean shower this morning before the show. I haven't showered for 3 days, so you're welcome. It's for you. But yeah, I know I keep talking. Feel free to stop me and ask another question, because otherwise I'm just going to keep talking for 15 minutes and then you're going to be
we'll love to hear everything you say. So is the Broadway somewhere that you're aiming towards in the future, and something you're looking to pursue?
That is absolutely what this is all about, is taking the Asylum book and turning it with the aim, and absolutely this is happening,
excellent,
to debut London's West End in 2014 as
fantastic,
the entire thing. That's what this is all for.
Right.
So it's about, what we're doing now on stage is very much trying to kind of indicate the direction that this is going. It's very different. It's very theatrical. The show is a concise, this is what's different from the past, this concise story from beginning to end.
Right.
We go on this journey together. It's equally about the audience, because it's we're having this revolution, we're breaking out, we're the Asylum Army, and right now we're 4 girls on stage. Realistically, we can only do so much. It's written for a live audience. That's what's different about the show. The record is that the show is the main attraction. It is the attraction, it is the product. The record is also its own special sort of magic, in that, it's got details that you're not going to hear on stage, and it's meant to be listened to on all different levels, and yet it's something that's why it's available after this tour. I mean, it's ready to go. It's going to be in people's hands immediately after this, but I wanted to make it very clear for the audience in general, and also for press and media and things, that this is to be thought of in a different way, where it isn't about putting out a record, going on tour to support the album sales, which is in general what's done, and that makes sense. It's just that this is about the show and this experience, and just kind of getting people to think of it as that being where it's at, and to where eventually it isn't about, an album cycle, when if you put that out, now you have to go on the road for this month. It's about a show, and it can be in one theater, or having a residency for 3 months, then move on to somewhere else. But that's what this is all meant to go towards. So this is just the hint of what's coming, with 4 girls representing these things, and all going towards a massive 3-hour production with an intermission, a pit with a full orchestra, and a cast of 40 people.
Fantastic.
And a bunch of rats and doctors and inmates and everything else. So it is the entire story. That's why this is so exciting to be here right now.
Is that a conscious decision to do the theatre, to obviously to show the theatrical side of it, rather than putting the CD out? And that's why your album's released later on after the
it's
show.
absolutely something that I was worried about for like 5 minutes. Thinking, is anybody going to really? That's just my because I don't have this incredible self-confidence by any means. So I'm thinking, is anyone going to care or show up if they don't know all the words to things? Do people only really come to shows because they are ready to sing along with something? If they don't know if they like the new music, are they going to be into it? And I just should have had more faith in those 5 minutes of doubt in both the audience and especially in myself, knowing that they know that this whole world is going to continue to be better and better and more magical and all of these things. So I'm guessing they know if they want to come to this show or not. It's not based on I like that new song and I can sing along with it. Also realizing that for myself and my girls on stage with me, it's about our skill to be able to bring people in who don't even know anything yet and be able to tell them a concise, cohesive story, or at least be very entertaining to make them want their money back. And that's our job to be able to do that. And I just kind of forgot for a minute that we absolutely can do that. And nobody's gonna ask for a refund, I don't think.
No,
and
can't see that
I think they are gonna understand it, even if they haven't read the book, even if they don't know that this is all real and intense and deep and all of those things, even if it's just for an entertainment value of this production. And of course, what I idiotically didn't really take into consideration is that, by the time the first show was over of the US tour date, the very first one, it was up on YouTube and everyone knew the words anyway. So now everybody knows the words. And that was another really overwhelming thing in London last night, is it's this massive sold out crowd, and I'm looking out and everybody is singing every word to every song, and I did not expect that. It was just madness, everything. So I'm to put out this record.
So what can you tell us about your new record, Fight Like a Girl?
It's definitely, it is, as kind of I think is now kind of obvious, it's the soundtrack to, or it's a small part really of the soundtrack to the overall score of this musical. So it is part of it, and where it begins is the part in the asylum story that is when the girls break out after years and years of abuse and torture and all of those things, medical experiments at the hands of these doctors in this Victorian insane asylum. And so this begins at the chapter called The Tea Party Massacre, where they find that they do, after all of this time, in fact have the means to get out from behind the bars. They have this instantaneous realization that really there's 1,000 of us, there's 50 of you doctors, attendants, whatever. So if the crazies, most of which are never really crazy, but that doesn't seem to matter. If somebody wants to lock you up, they'll do it either way. So once they're out, really, they're the majority. And who's scary now? So it's about the turning of the tables, about finding your own power, about coming together as, especially for ladies, in realizing the power of this sisterhood that we have, that we need to always remember to keep very strong and united, because we still have so much to accomplish, but also that it isn't just about the ladies, it's about all of us, and that we're all on the same side and we're all fighting for the same things, really. And we're all, in our own ways, fighting for our equality and to be treated as we should be and not discriminated against for any number of reasons. It isn't just ladies, it's just in this book. It happens to be, this is the story. It's this insane song for girls. But I think it applies in some way to everybody. And so they go on this massacre with the attempt to eradicate the enemy and take back the asylum and make it their own and turn something that was this place of torture into a sanctuary, realizing that that's what the word asylum means. It means a place to go to be safe. And so it's time to take that back. It parallels, of course, like my own modern reality of living through situations like that, and how in my own life, and I think sharing that with everybody else, is we're all trying to take back our asylum and find our sanctuary. And that's what we try to do on stage, to where by this particular new show, it's a journey where by the end of it, we fight, and then we get to the end. And even it's the question of, even after we've won and we've killed everybody that needed to be gotten out of the way, or, you know, metaphorically, of course, it's about just like getting rid of the dark forces that are actively oppressing you, who you are, whatever. That it doesn't mean, I mean, you still have all those awful memories in your head, you still have all those broken parts of you. Just because you've gotten rid of the problem doesn't mean that you've gotten rid of the problem. And just because you're still alive and you're victorious in this war doesn't mean that you're living, doesn't mean that you're okay. And so it's all about this is what the record takes us on this journey, the show as well, to answer that question in my long form way.
No, it's brilliant.
It's just that it comes to that place where we march towards the future to answer the ultimate question of, after all of this, even after we fight it isn't always as easy as that, to just have this happy ending, like, yay, we're free. It's about how do we go on from here, and the realization that there is no magic button that you push, there is no answer. And the only answer is that you just put one foot in front of the other and just do it. And that's the march that we do towards the end of the show. So will you be able to stay tonight?
Yes, we're doing. I'm doing photos.
And
I'll review it.
So happy. I'm so happy, because then, now that you know this, I'm counting on you in all sincerity to help me to lead the Asylum Army tonight, and to be marching, because they will absolutely follow you. Sometimes it just takes a couple people to just to say, no, we're allowed. It's like everybody wants to, and some audiences somewhere, they absolutely know what it is that they're allowed to do, and yet a few still get a bit fearful, like, are we allowed to yell? Are we allowed to cheer for this? Are we allowed to, like, put our arms up in the air on that note? Are we allowed to march, or what? And once a few people do, then everybody gets that, no, this is why it was written, is for you to do that right there. So I'm counting on you both to help me out.
Well, thank you very, very much for talking to us, and we look forward to watching you later on stage.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really hope you enjoy it.